So today, I'm going to share with you four very common mistakes that I see freight brokers making when trying to use LinkedIn to get shippers. All right. Now, first of all, let's start out with what is LinkedIn. Some of you may not understand what LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is the world's largest professional networking site. It's basically like a social media site combined with almost like a business community, right? So I've been on LinkedIn for a long, long time. Have used LinkedIn to generate well over $20 million in annual recurring revenue for my own freight brokerage. And so LinkedIn is near and dear to my heart. And so I want to share with you again, four mistakes that I see freight brokers making that are easily corrected with just a little bit of work. Okay. So number one on the list is not making a good first impression because you failed to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Now, you can set up a free profile on LinkedIn, costs you absolutely zero. And the key is when you start that profile, it's a blank slate. And because of the background of LinkedIn, a lot of people treat their LinkedIn profile like a resume, and it's not a resume. It's more like a personal branding site. And so when you optimize your profile, there's a few things. Number one, you have to have a good image, right? A good profile image, something that represents you, something that you might put on your business card, right? The second thing is you want to create a custom header image that goes across the top, something that positions you as an expert, focuses in and talks to your target market, builds credibility, right? So those sorts of things that are going to make a good first impression. You're also obviously going to want to make sure you have a good headline, right? Your headline or your title under your name. And it shouldn't be freight broker. It shouldn't be CEO. It shouldn't be entrepreneur. It should be something that speaks to your target market, something that differentiates you, something that gets their attention. Okay. And then obviously you got to have a good summary and job experience. But the most important part of the profile is the fact that you don't sound like a salesperson. You don't make it pitchy, right? Use it as a way to focus on helping people to understand that you are a resource and or an expert in your niche. All right. Number two, treating LinkedIn like Tinder. Okay. Now, I've never personally been on Tinder, but Tinder is the really crazy dating app that a lot of people have used to get dates. Okay. And so, what I want you to understand, people that go on Tinder are going on there just to get dates, right? But here's the thing. What you have to understand is that LinkedIn is not like speed dating. You have to slow things down, right? It's not a platform where you can be very salesy. You have to slow your approach. You have to be a lot more subtle. You have to be a lot more patient. Okay. So here's the mistakes, right? Kind of the common mistakes. When somebody does connect with you on LinkedIn, you all of a sudden beat them over the head with your pitch, right? All of a sudden you go into sales mode and you start trying to close them, right? So you beat them over the head with your pitch, or someone messages you or comments on one of your pieces of content, and all of a sudden you goes into sales mode and you start again beating them over the head with your pitch. That's a huge mistake. Okay. Number three, not leveraging content to attract your target market. Now, what do I mean by content? LinkedIn, very much like Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and all these different platforms, has the ability to release content, right? Where you can post content. Like, for example, some of you may be watching this live on LinkedIn. This is LinkedIn live content. Some of you might be watching this on YouTube or Facebook. But the fact is you can put content on LinkedIn and that content will help to attract your target market. Now, the content could be like kind of like a micro blog post. It could be an image. It could be a video. It could be a live. You can do polls. There's all kinds of things you can do with content. But content is one of my favorite ways to find and connect and engage with my target market. I have personally generated thousands and thousands of sales leads using content that I put out there for my target market. They respond to that content. We then start a short dialogue and that converts into a sales opportunity. Thousands of times I've been able to use content as a way to generate leads, interest, and to attract my target market. And most of you as freight brokers don't leverage it. All right. Number 4, talking to the wrong audience. All right. If you are a freight broker or a freight agent and you are trying to get shippers, all right, and your niche is produce, I'm just going to use an example. You should be spending 90% of your time in conversations with people in and around the produce industry. You shouldn't be talking to salespeople or coaches or carriers, people that are not in your niche. You should be spending the majority of your time finding, connecting, engaging with people in your target market. Because the problem is time is a precious commodity. And the next thing you know, you get on LinkedIn and you've spent 3 hours on there and you haven't even had a conversation with anybody in your target market. You go the whole day and you've never even made any headway. So I'd rather have you spend 15 to 30 minutes a day, but focus that time on actually finding and connecting with your target market. Okay. So yeah, that's a huge mistake. Talking to the wrong audience also includes not only doing outreach where you're actually sending connection requests to people, but it also includes in the comments of your content that you're either posting and or engaging with, right? So that's another one, the content piece. A lot of times I'll see if when agents or brokers do post some content, they'll post content that's geared to the wrong audience. So rather than posting content that would be interesting to the produce industry, they are posting content that's interesting to freight brokers or to carriers or to marketers or entrepreneurs. Well, guess what? You can't attract shippers with content that's not relevant to them. And so you have to be hyper relevant with the content that you are posting, right? So yeah, those are the 4. I'm going to review them really quick. Not optimizing your profile to make a good first impression. Treating LinkedIn like Tinder and beating your prospects over the head with your pitch. Number 3, not leveraging content as a way to attract your target market. And number 4, talking to the wrong audience, right? Spending too much time talking to the wrong people. All right. I'm going to give you a bonus, number 5. Who wants a bonus? All right. So the bonus is this. I see a lot of people making a huge mistake by spamming people on LinkedIn with automated software. So there's a bunch of software providers out there that will provide software that will allow you to spam by sending out lots of connection requests, lots of LinkedIn messages, and even posting automatically to different posts online, right? Or creating automatic comments. I'm going to tell you right now, I've been on LinkedIn for well over a decade. I've seen a lot of it come and go. And I can tell you right now, it's a huge mistake. I've even tried some of those softwares in years past. The fact is, number 1, it's against LinkedIn's terms of service, and they will shut you off. Number 2, ask yourself a question. Do you like to be spammed? If not, stop spamming everybody else. And number 3, a one size fits all approach to sending out the same message to 30 or 50 or 100 people doesn't work. It doesn't work. That one size fits all approach doesn't work. Those types of messages are very easy to spot. You can tell when they're very generic, and when they are, and you do spot it, you are automatically exposed as a fraud. Okay. So that was the bonus tip. So listen, if you guys want a free download, a free resource, I've called it How to Become a Freight Broker in 7 Simple Steps. Here's all you got to do. Go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com, www.freightbrokerbootcamp.com. You can download that for free. It's absolutely free. And just so you guys know, if you guys are curious about becoming a freight broker or a freight agent, and you're looking for some help, we've trained over 10,000 students, been in business over a decade. I've personally done over $200 million as a freight broker. And we offer a 60-day, 100% unconditional money back guarantee. You can check that one once again at freightbrokerbootcamp.com. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, like the post right now, like the stream, and make sure that if you're on YouTube, you hit the subscribe button and click that all notifications bell. Have an awesome day, and we'll be back next week with another Freight Broker Bootcamp Live.